I invite you to be seated. The gospel for today is the Sermon on the Mount. And when we think of the Sermon on the Mount, our minds do immediately go to the Beatitudes, don't they? Blessed are the meek, blessed are the peacemakers, blessed are. However, the Beatitudes are merely the preamble to the teaching, the sermon that Jesus gives to the disciples who are gathered with him up on the top of that mountain. The words that follow the Beatitude are poignant, meaningful, filled with instruction, meant to guide these disciples in their lives together and the way they live out their faith in the world. The words that Jesus speaks to them are meant to inspire community, companionship, care for neighbor, a self-sacrificial, selfless way of life that shines a light for the entire world to see, a light that is becoming dimmed in these days. I'd like to think of us as an intimate gathering of disciples when we come together around the words of Jesus. I'd like to think of us as an intimate group of followers who are gathered this day in light of the executive orders that so craftily divide us against one another and the rest of the world. So as I listen to the words of Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount, I hear a vision. I see a vision, a way of being far, far different than the vision being imposed on us politically and culturally. So as fellow disciples, this week and next, because the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew is very long, I invite you to hear the whole thing. This week we'll hear part 1, and next week we'll hear part 2, and after that I promise we'll do some unpacking. But I invite you to listen to the sermon as translated by Eugene Peterson in The Message in the context of our world today as believers and followers of Jesus Christ, the light of the world. He writes, Jesus speaks, "You're blessed when you are at the end of your rope. With less of you, there is more of God. You're blessed when you feel you've lost what is most dear to you. Only then can you be embraced by the one most dear to you. You're blessed when you are content with just who you are, no more, no less. That's the moment you find yourselves proud owners of everything that cannot be bought. You're blessed when you've worked up a good appetite for God. He's food and drink in the best meal you'll ever eat. You're blessed when you care. At the moment of being careful, you find yourselves cared for. You're blessed when you get your inside world, your mind and your heart, put right. Then you can see God in the outside world. You're blessed when you can show people how to cooperate instead of compete or fight. That's when you discover who you really are and your place in God's family. You're blessed when your commitment to God provokes persecution. The persecution drives you even deeper into God's kingdom. Not only that, count yourselves blessed every time people put you down or throw you out or speak lies about you to discredit me. What it means is that the truth is too close for comfort and they are uncomfortable. You can be glad when that happens. Give a cheer even, for though they don't like it, I do. And all of heaven applauds. and know that you are in good company. My prophets and witnesses have gotten into this kind of trouble. Let me tell you why you're here. You're here to be salt seasoning that brings out the God flavors in the earth. If you lose your saltiness, how will people taste godliness? You've lost your usefulness and you'll just end up in the garbage. Here's another way to put it. You're here to be light, bringing out the God colors in the world. God is not a secret to be kept. We're going public with this, as public as a city on a hill. If I make you light bearers, you don't think I'm going to hide you under a bucket, do you? I'm putting you on a light stand. Now that I've put you there on a hilltop and on a light stand, shine. Keep open house. Be generous with your lives. By opening up to others, you'll prompt people to open up with God, our generous Father in heaven. And don't suppose for a minute that I've come to demolish the scriptures, neither God's law nor the prophets. I'm not here to demolish, but to complete. I am going to put it all together in a vast panorama. God's law is more real and more lasting than the stars in the sky or the ground at your feet. Long after stars burn out and earth wears out, God's law will be alive and working. Trivialize even the smallest item in God's law, and you'll only have trivialized yourself. But take it seriously. Show the way for others, and you will find honor in the kingdom. Unless you do far better than the Pharisees in matters of right living, you won't know the first thing about entering the kingdom. You're familiar with the command to the ancients, do not murder? I'm telling you, anyone who is so much as angry with a brother or sister is guilty of murder. Carelessly call a brother, you idiot, and you just might find yourselves hauled into court. Thoughtlessly yell, stupid, at a sister, and you're on the brink of hellfire. The simple moral fact is that words kill. This is how I want you to conduct yourselves in these matters. If you enter your place of worship and about to make an offering, you suddenly remember a grudge a friend has against you, abandon your offering. Leave immediately. Go to the friend and make things right. Then and only then, come back and work things out with God. Or say you're on the streets and an enemy accosts you. Don't lose a minute. Make the first move. Make things right with him. After all, if you leave the first move to him, knowing his track record, you're likely to end up in court, maybe even jail, and if that happens, you're not going to get out without a stiff fine. You know the next commandment pretty well, too. Don't go to bed with another spouse. But don't think you've preserved your virtue by simply staying out of bed. Your heart can be corrupted by lust, even quicker than your body. Those looks you give thinking nobody notices, they also corrupt. Let's not pretend this is easier than it really is. If you want to live a morally pure life, here's what you have to do. You have to blind your right eye the moment you catch it in a leer. You have to choose to live one-eyed or else be dumped on the trash pile. And you have to chop off your right hand the moment you notice it raised, threatening. Better a bloody stump than your entire being discarded. Remember, the scripture says, whoever divorces his wife, let him do it legally, giving her divorce papers and her legal rights. Too many are using that as a cover for selfishness and whim, pretending to be righteous just because we're legal. Please, no more pretending. If you divorce your wife, you're responsible for making her an adulteress. And if you marry such a divorced adulteress, you're automatically an adulterer yourself. You can't use legal cover to mask. And don't say anything you don't mean. This counsel is embedded deep in our traditions. You only make things worse by laying down a smokescreen of pious talk saying, I'll pray for you, and never doing it, or saying, God be with you, and not really meaning it. You don't make your words true by embellishing them with religious lace. In making your speech sound more religious, it becomes less true. Just say yes and no. When you manipulate words to get your own way, you go wrong. Here's another old saying that deserves a second look. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Is that going to get us anywhere? Here's what I propose. Don't hit back at all. If someone strikes you, stand and take it. If someone drags you into court and sues for the shirt off your back, gift wrap your best coat and make a present of it. And if someone takes unfair advantage of you, use the occasion to practice the servant life. No more tit-for-tat stuff. Live generously. You're familiar with the old written law. Love your friend, and its unwritten companion, hate your enemy. I'm challenging that. I'm telling you to love your enemies. Let them bring out the best in you, not the worst. When someone gives you a hard time, respond with the energies of prayer, for then you are working out your true selves, your God-created selves. This is what God does. God gives the best, the sun to warm and the rain to nourish to everyone, regardless, the good, the bad, the nice, and the nasty. If all you do is love the lovable, do you expect a bonus? Anybody can do that. If you simply say hello to those who greet you, do you expect a medal? Any run-of-the-mill sinner does that. In a word, what I'm saying is grow up. Your kingdom subjects. Now live like it. Live out your God-created identity. Live generously and graciously toward others the way God lives toward you. This is the gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, O Christ.